Hi tubes. Hey, welcome back to the CTS project here. Off camera we did some welding on the quarter panel after we mounted it in the last video. We do it off camera because it just doesn't show up very well on this phone camera or even through the hood, and it's kind of hard to see, so that's why we did it that way. I do talk quite a bit about the techniques that I used and show you the welds and everything. I'm not the greatest welder. It'll show in the welds, but I do accept constructive criticisms. So with that being said, please feel free to comment. Enjoy the video, and on to it we go. Okay tubes, today we're going to do some more welding on the quarter panel. We've got the blankets all covered up and everything, the back windshield. As we move down here though, we'll actually move this over and put this metal plate over it. When we close the door, the blanket is actually up out of the latch and it's just closed into the seam here. So we got it up over here since we're only going to be welding about here. Got it up over the roof. Down here for safety we got our fire extinguisher. That's the cord for the grinder. And obviously we'll keep this way over here. And we got some water over there in case we have any other issues with it. So till then we just we're gonna work with the Eastwood welder. We still have to play with the settings a little bit on it. We're still having issues with it not welding quite right and overheating quickly. I don't like the way where they put the fan. It's like blocked by the bottom, so I don't like that. We'll go ahead and move the welder up a little bit, but still, I mean, why would you put the fan right here where the bottle goes? You know, why wouldn't you put it on the side or towards the top or something? But anyways, that's just a little critique. So anyways, let's go ahead and get to some welding. Here we are. I welded these ones up right here. This one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. A bunch of multiple ones. When I was doing this one though, the edge of the metal was like half in and half out of the hole. So when I welded it, it just kind of followed along. So I had to just hit it, let it puddle a little bit, let the puddle cool down a little bit, and then hit it again. And I kind of built off of the metal that was already welded, and that would cool it down enough to where it would kind of flow back into wherever the hole was. So I kept doing that, and it seems to be working. So we'll just keep we're working this area, then we're kind of work down this area a little bit and get it tacked down. And then when I'm welding, I go ahead and I make sure and use my screwdriver and push the metal down close to it, and then I weld like right next to the screwdriver, not right on the screwdriver, otherwise it would weld my screwdriver to the sheet metal. So that's what we're doing, and I'll show you a little bit more a little bit later. Alright, it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna have to stop welding. So anyways, we got about 30 welds on it, and there was a big hole right here if you guys remember. And I've pretty much welded it up. I still have to clean it off, grind it, and probably do some more welding on it, but looks like it's moving along pretty good. My main goal was to try to get welds on either side of the screws and make sure it was flat where the screws go by pushing down on the metal with a screwdriver and then welding, and then doing the same on the other side and then welding and getting all of them. But I didn't get them all, so looks like I'm gonna have to leave some of the screws in. But overall, it's going better. We seem to have the welder kind of dialed in. It's not perfect, but then again, you know, it's not a $3,000 welder, and that's the settings I was using on mine. It's a C6, and the flow with the regulator that came with it, that's static, and then operation it drops down to about 11, and it seems to be doing fine. So here's the wire feed at 6, so it's quite a bit. Well, the rain started cooperating, so we were able to get quite a few more welds done. Actually, a lot more welds done. So you can see I got the screws out of here now, so they're not even in there anymore. Not the prettiest welds in the world, but I think they'll get the job done. Actually, where is it? One of them right in here somewhere I ground down and welded up. Oh, right here. I'm gonna grab the wire brush. There we go. It was right here. Ground it down, went flat right across the seam there. Not a problem whatsoever. Did have like a little micro crack in here where I was, I guess it didn't weld quite all the way, so I'll go back over it and re-weld them and grind them down again and make sure the cracks are gone. But yeah, she's coming along. Got down in here a little bit where that crack was, where that seam was right here, and welded those up. Trying to get all the screws out of it so I don't have to worry about them anymore. And I plugged up a couple of little holes. I think it was down here I plugged one. I don't remember. I'm getting better at it. Let's put it that way. Well, it's getting a little darker out here, so I'm gonna have to, I guess, quit here. But I wanted to go ahead and show you my ugly welds here. Some of them aren't too bad. Like this one was stacking pretty good, and I had a pretty good stack going on there. I had a really fine stack going on here, and some of them were just kind of, you know, blobs. This one right here is my Harbor Freight weld. That's a Harbor Freight weld. This is a Harbor Freight weld, this ugly one right here. Harbor Freight. It's kind of big and ugly, but they seem to be better welds. They're just bigger. So, and these right here, these are all the Eastwood welds. I don't think I have it dialed in quite right, but when I ground it down, it seems to be solid. So I think I'll just keep going and we'll see. But anyways, one of the things I would like to say on this is when you start a direction, keep going a direction. Like I've got a couple of reverse directions right here, and I found it's easier to do that. The other thing I found is when you start a weld, I find it's easier to start on the weld and then move away from it. That way the metal heats up really well, rather than just blowing right through it, which I had a couple of blow-throughs. These are screw holes here that I filled in. Let's see, I didn't fill this one in yet. There's another one I filled in. Screw hole, screw hole. And for the screw holes, I usually start on the edge and then work my way into the hole and then just pulse it and let it fill it in. And that seems to work pretty good. But anyways, it's getting dark, so I can't really go too much further. So I wanted to show you the progress we're making. We're making good progress today. We don't have the welder completely dialed in, but it's going better. So thanks for watching. If you like the video and you're learning something, please give it a thumbs up. If you're a professional, have advice, by all means give it, especially if you know how to dial that in and get better. And God bless you all, and Keith Nunn you out. Bye.